Hi guys, I'm getting ready to do a elemental energy reading here. We're just going to go with this one, water. We're in the water element now. So our last one is going to be air. Okay, water. So I'm pulling some oracles. These are just general. You don't necessarily have to have water in your chart for this to resonate. It's emotional, it's subconscious, it's bringing the subconscious to the conscious, it's the deep stuff, it's the psychic stuff. It's all the water's a very powerful element. But if you do have water in your chart, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, this might resonate more with you, even so. I am opening this up with a couple of the Soul Tree Oracle cards. And the decks I've chosen to use this for this round of readings is taking a minute for the whole story to come together. And as with almost all my readings, it gets deeper and it gets more, you just get more as you get into the message. It starts to flow. There we go. Let's see. So let's just see where we start here with compassion. Starting with compassion. Needing to show some compassion. Be compassionate. Understanding. And prosperity. Flourish. Yeah. I'm almost feeling like their compassion is growing in your life in some way, shape, or form. It's coming in kind of with a message right away with, and it's bringing a lot of growth and good things to your life, whether this is you being more compassionate, understanding, or it's just in your energy field right now. And this is just kind of a main theme here within your life right now, compassion. Maybe maybe you're getting more compassion or you're showing more compassion. It's usually both. The more we give, the more we receive, kind of thing. Brings prosperity. And what was that on the bottom there? Flourishing, growing. I feel like something is growing here, and it's some kind of compassionate nature, some understanding. Let's see what this is. Inner peace. Having compassion for the situations, your past, having compassion for others, their situations, their past, their journey, having that extra compassion and putting the extra effort and work into being a more compassionate human being does bring more inner peace, and its wonders on the bottom there. It's bringing some kind of peace and tranquility within. It feels like recently maybe there's been the compassion has been growing within you, and it is bringing you some inner peace to have this maybe a higher understanding of people and situations, and maybe even yourself, Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces, if you have those in your chart. But definitely this water element working on the energy of compassion. Compassion is so important for us human beings. We need it. I just did fire, and it was about forgiveness and radical acceptance, and then we got enlightenment. Nice. Definitely moving towards a higher understanding here with being compassionate, and how this brings us inner peace, and how that peace then grows the things around us and brings prosperity to the world, really. When I do these elemental readings, it's really collective energy because we all have these energies. I am going to get a couple more on these, and we are going to see what else we can get for this message. I'm also kind of feeling that hermit energy. We got overwhelm. Nurture your energy. Nurture the energy of compassion right now. You could be feeling overwhelmed emotionally. You could be feeling really, really in it, in the emotions, in the psyche, in the depth, really kind of just swimming around in there and needing some extra compassion and understanding for your own process here right now. If this reading is so far for you, it's also saying this could be stressing you out, maybe struggling with feeling compassion towards yourself or a situation in that's happening. There's a lot of energy shifting around us right now, and it's really hard for us to understand everything we're observing and everything we're seeing that is changing. And I feel like it's changing fast. I feel like there's a fast energy that's coming in and just switching things up. Very towery like energy. I was feeling this about, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, a month ago. I was feeling that tower energy coming in. I feel like it's here. I feel like our choices right now really matter, and compassion is not just a choice, it's a way of being, and it's just giving yourself compassion and others compassion during this time of shift, change, growth, and it will bring a lot of peace, and it helps you to understand and have that quiet space within yourself to really grow wiser and become more aligned with a more positive energy. I feel like this inner peace energy, it's like you've been working on just getting this kind of calmness inside, because there is a lot of overwhelming energy and feelings here. Could be a lot of stress, and you had to be really compassionate with yourself and probably others around this time. There's this transition. This did just come out for fire also, and it's the natural progression of change, realignment, and release. Things are falling away, things are changing. It can feel very overwhelming, and right now it's very important to have compassion and know that it is how we are growing, and it is how we are flourishing, and it's going to bring a lot of good things. I felt that in the fire reading. After this energy moves through, there's something definitely much more understanding and freeing and free to the spirit. It's just a really hard time right now for our minds, our egos, to understand exactly everything that's happening. But there's a lot happening. So that is what I'm feeling there. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of these Intuit oracles. Compassion is what's going to be helping right now, or is helping right now with these feelings of feeling overwhelmed or having anxiety about all the shifting and changing and things releasing and leaving your life, or things you feel like you're that are kind of just energies that maybe you felt connected to, not being connected to anymore. I feel like these leaves were connected to this tree, and now it's time. These leaves blew off, and it's kind of hard sometimes. Fall, and I feel like that's fall energy also. It's just that releasing of all of the stuff of the summer and all the stuff of the spring, that, and maybe some things that didn't necessarily turn out the way we wanted them to either this year or this cycle. But we also got the tower. I was feeling this tower. It's standing alone, guidance, institutions, government, hierarchy, legal systems, ego. This is what I was feeling. That ego is being overwhelmed right now with all this releasing and all this shifting and all this changing that we don't have control over. There's nature happening right now, that fall energy, that transitioning happening in the energy moving through. And right now, compassion is what is going to bring that inner peace right now. There's really nothing else that can bring us that feeling of peace right now, besides just being compassionate and understanding with others and ourselves. And knowing that it's okay. I was feeling that hermit energy, and this card, this tower card, says stand alone. And you may be feeling very alone, and you may be feeling like bared, kind of. That's what I'm feeling, like this bareness, very vulnerable maybe right now. But there's definitely something shifting, a big shift happening in these energies. And I almost thought about just not doing a round of readings. That's why I decided to do the element readings instead of each zodiac sign, because I did just do readings. But I was like, man, this energy is, and we're in this retrograde, we're in tons of retrograde energy. There's a lot here. You know, you get leery about doing readings, like, okay, you know, you don't want to, a lot of things can turn around real quick in this energy, after this energy. But there is definitely a message coming through about being compassionate, and this is stepping stones, the process of arrival. And this is that transition. It's coming, this enlightenment. A lot of things getting bared down right now, getting shown, getting seen, getting released, and we're going to see the bare bones of things here. I'm feeling that. It's a progress. How to keep on going step by step in its spiritual growth. In order for things to grow, things got to be released, and that's this transition. This ego overwhelming energy that I think a lot of people are going to be struggling with at this time. The nature, the alignment of the planets, everything's asking, kind of in a way, not just asking us to. It's, Spirit can ask us to be graceful with the changes, but the changes are happening anyway. Is the message. It's going to be harder for some than others, because some people have already been feeling this and already know this was something that needed to happen. This releasing or whatever it is, whether this is a situation in your life or a person, it can be on that scale, or we can be talking about a much bigger scale here, of constraining and containing people's natural energies and people's natural destinies and people's we have been under a very heavy misunderstanding with Spirit, as far as each person having their own huge, unique, special gifts and spiritual energy that they have to offer and contribute to the world. And we have sadly not allowed a lot of that to happen throughout history, but I feel like that's really changing on a bigger scale, and it could be changing, definitely probably is, in your smaller inner circle, your inner life. The dogs are barking. 1 second. Okay, water signs, water energy. I don't even want to say signs anymore. When I'm doing these elements, it's just the element of emotion. It's the element of the depth coming up, the subconscious, the unconscious, becoming conscious. The water flowing through the cracks of the earth and really nourishing the stuff of the physical. And it's going to change the physical stuff. Lots of physical things are going to be changing as these feelings come through, these emotions come through, this true depth, this true unconscious energy comes up to the surface. It's really going to be changing the way we see things and the way things are growing around us. And it's just kind of really important right now to remember that. I feel like in this energy, there's just a lot of, and it's all good. It just feels really, it's scary for the human ego is what it is. But it's good. And the more you accept and understand and that it's needed, shifts, changes, releasing things, even our egos being overwhelmed, the things that have protected us and kept us safe. Sometimes self-sabotaged us, our egos can, but they can also keep us safe too. It's really hard to tell that part of our brain to sit down for a minute, our ego, and just feel things and just feel it in spirit and not think about it in our minds. It's really hard because we are mind people. We are thinkers. This is a Sacred Rebel card. We're going to just get real quick and see what's going on here. And we got what you want wants you. And this is truly knowing that even if you've given up on an idea of something or told yourself a million times something wasn't for you because of ego, because of our protection, what we all truly want does want us, and it is part of our it's not about telling yourself you want something other than what you truly want. If you've been telling yourself, I want this and this and this and this don't go with what you want, those things are going to fall away. Those things are going to be blown in the wind. That's this transition. That's what's happening. It's interesting because her hair is blowing in the wind, and I am feeling that wind energy in this reading. And how I describe that wind energy is that mental attachment to the things we think we can make turn into the things we want, but they aren't really the things we want. We just think we can make them look that way, and they aren't. They're a different energy. They're different. They're in a different alignment. They're not part of what you want, but what you want really does want you. And the things that are blocking that or getting in the way of that or blocking your vision of that or your it's just not helping form exactly what is meant for you. So it is going to be moved. That tower energy, this overwhelming energy, it's just taking it step by step, and soon being at that place where you're like, oh, here it is. Here's what I really want. It's kind of like I've been getting that castle energy and this like fairy tale energy. And it's like we always dream of like that fairy tale or that, but it's like when you're there, it's just really a big empty house. It's not really what it was cracked up to be, kind of thing. It's like, really, never mind. I don't want all that, especially if it feels this empty. I'd rather have something like this small that feels really full, and feels really good. So it doesn't matter how big or grand it is or what I've told myself it should look like, or it should be in that person, or it should be in that job, or it should be in this. It's right here and you know what you want. You know the feeling you want to get from a situation or from a relationship or from just living in general. And it's really about just living with and knowing that what you really truly want, if other things are not that, and you cannot make them look like that, that is not the true nature. That is not the true nature of what that energy is, or that person, or that job. It's if it's not in alignment, it's not. And that this is where the compassion comes in. This is where you have to understand and show compassion towards yourself, towards others. And it's not even, it's just a huge understanding that we each want something and dream of something. And we've all done this. We've all dreamt of something way, but also believe it can happen. It just may not look the way our egos want it to look. It may not look the way we've structured it to look, or we've been led to believe, or we've conditioned ourselves or others. The conditioning has led us to believe something should be. That's the energy coming through. And it's been a pretty strong message in it. And I'm getting it again here in this water reading. So we are going to get one of these mystical oracle, mystical moments. It's taking these baby steps towards this enlightenment, this energy of this change and this growth and this expansion. It's like that tower has been containing a lot. I don't think, it's just interesting. Oh, change of seasons. I was feeling that. This big change, and the seasons are actually changing right now. At least, it's just interesting. There's just all these leaves, fall leaves falling away. This is the energy of fall. This happens every fall. This year, I feel like, I don't know, I feel like the older you get, the more intense these seasons can get. The more they can affect you, the more conscious you become, and the more aware you become of what's really, what nature is really made of, and what it is trying to do, which is just grow. And in order for it to grow, parts of it gotta die so other parts grow. Parts of it gotta be released so that it can replenish itself, And winter, as much as it feels like it is a time of replenishment, it is a time of hibernation, it is a time of self-reflection, it is a time of kind of hunkering down and really finding the places in yourself that keep you sustained. And we find that it may not be the codependency or the things outside of ourselves that keep us sustained. It is us. It is spirit. It is just, it's not our ego. It's our hearts and our souls that keep us going. Although our egos have their purpose too. And this has been really about combining the two. But the ego is going to have to take a really big backstage for now, while this emotional energy, while this water energy comes up and really takes its place and takes its fair amount of space up, so that it can be a more balanced energy that we are expanding into and that we are evolving into. That's what I am feeling. So I am going to read a couple of these cards. Well, let's get one of these. Change of seasons. What you want wants you. That's a good message. Stick to your compassion, stick to your inner peace, and just see where this is taking you. There is an energy that probably feels very challenging right now, but it is changing. Stuff is changing. The reputable. I live my life as if my guardian angels are watching over me. Not as if, because they are, but Yes, it's like the cosmos sitting there, like, no, like I said, kind of knowing there's a bigger picture here, even though it feels really challenging. The energy feels really challenging. Don't make any impulsive decisions. Kind of stay in a place where you understand that there's a lot going on in the cosmos right now, a lot going on behind the scenes that we just have to really be compassionate with ourselves right now and show that extra care with the energy right now, because I feel like it is really some very and like I said, I don't know if I said it in this video, but you know, we're going through tons of retrogrades and stuff right now. We're going through a lot. Just know you are being watched over. You are not alone, even though you may feel like you're standing alone. You're not. You do have a support system of the universe, and everything's happening and everything's changing and everything's transitioning into a place where what you want wants you, and it will be there. That's it. That's a great message, actually. I'm actually getting pretty good energy from that. So let's go ahead and read. I'm just going to read like short little bits of this inner peace here. Oh, inner peace. Oh. Inner peace is your birthright. Tranquility occurs when you realize that life is unfolding according to divine planning, not our planning, not our ego's planning. It can feel overwhelming that things aren't looking the way we thought they should look, but they're happening. Trust that. There's been a big message about trusting, radical acceptance, forgiveness, and trust in the universe that everybody's going to exactly where they're destined to go. The energies they're destined to align with. Trusting that, not holding yourself or anybody else back from getting what they want and what they want wanting them, and just allowing everybody to just fall into their place where they are being taught their lessons and they are learning and growing just as they are supposed to be. Trust that. We cannot control that. Serenity isn't something you have to work for or search for. It already exists within you. To find this inner peace, simplify your life, spend time in nature, and listen to the message of your soul. True peace transcends fear. And that's that fear this ego's facing right now with losing things and having to let things go and things changing and shifting that are really kind of hard to understand right now. I think for a lot of people, I'm getting this kind of as a collective energy, but it's definitely feeling that way. True peace transcends fear and connects you intimately to the Creator. Breathe deeply and fully, knowing that all is well. And that is these stepping stones. It's happening. Things are happening little by little, leaf by leaf, wind gust by wind gust, season by season. We're really entering a place here where things are going to become a lot more aligned with the highest good for all. And that's what we really want, but our ego sometimes just wants things to look a certain way because that's what we've been taught. It's really restructuring what we've been taught to. I'm going to read... I am going to read this one. Reputable, 34. It's very important for you to establish a reputation for being someone others can rely on. You must do everything you can to make sure that what is said about you or by those who matter to you is favorable. The best way to ensure your reputation is to make sure your actions are keeping with your highest ideals. You cannot do more than that. Act as if you are being watched by your guardian angels. You must avoid doing anything you would not want them to see. So I feel like that's where this compassion's coming into. It's really, really being kind, being a good person. Just during this time, really, really being very, very mindful of your energy, what it is you're doing, not making any impulsive decisions. It says social grace as manners. You must examine how much power, status, wealth, or reputation figures into your question. If you're having trouble with a person because of either of your reputations, use your intuition to help make very clear to you what is true and what is false. Being very discerning about what it is you're kind of, how you're judging others, what kind of energy you're putting out there and what kind of energy others are putting out there. I feel like is another message coming in here to be very mindful of that right now because there's a lot going on. You can count on the fact that what you have done, good or bad, is going to come back to you in regard to the question you asked. And I don't ask really a question with these readings. They are just general, but I do feel like it is a time when things are really shifting, and I feel like it's that tower energy. And if things weren't matching up, or things aren't matching up, or we've told ourselves a truth that isn't the truth, or what we want, we've said we wanted something, really we don't want that, it's not going to be there at the end of this energy. What is going to be there is what you want and what wants you, nothing else. That's what I'm feeling. And it feels kind of like sometimes it's like our egos, we want everything, right? Like we want it all, right? Really, if you get away from that, we just want peace. We want inner peace. We want compassion to be shown to us. We want to do that for others. Sometimes we don't want to do that for others, but we want it for ourselves. But we got to remember, this is a give and take. This is a balance, and this is you need to do this for others in order to have it done for yourself also. There is a lot happening in the energy right now, I will say that. So the that was the, oh no, we're going to go to the Forest Temple, Enlightenment. Okay. The spirit of the Forest Temple says positive changes are coming. You are lightening up. Feel buoyant and free. Your connection to spirit is deepening. Old beliefs about who you are and what you deserve in life are falling away, replaced by incredible new paths. That's a really good message, and I was kind of feeling that. Like, you may have even told yourself, there's just an energy here in the emotional energy in these of many people just staying in situations, or telling themselves they deserve this when they don't. They deserve better, or they, or they think they deserve better, and then they deserve. It's just it's not even about, like, I'm not even feeling like there's a huge change coming here that's going to match up more to what you feel, not what you've told yourself, not what you have chosen to try very hard to believe. I feel like those those times when you're trying so hard to believe your own words and your own crap are all just being blown away. Like, that's what it feels like. Like, we tell ourselves crap. Like, oh, maybe I, deserve this, or maybe I, or that person doesn't deserve forgiveness, or that person doesn't deserve any, and all that crap, all that. And I'm just going to say it feels like BS. All that BS is getting blown in the wind by this energy that's coming through. And it's for a good reason, because we are coming to a point here where there's a big shift, a big change. And there needs to be, for the people, for everybody who has been told they don't deserve love, or they don't deserve respect, or they have told themselves they don't need to give that. That is all changing, and it feels very good. Especially if you're sitting on the side where you've tried very hard to show compassion, to grow things, to flourish, to move forward. And it feels like there's still these hanging on to this old energy of the only inner peace that some have, and maybe even you at times, is holding on to that ego, or that idea of what you deserve, or you believe is you're capable of, or others are capable of, when it's absolutely no boundaries right now. Like, I feel like the energy is like unlimited right now. I just am feeling that. I'm going to go to this change of seasons. I feel like it's a big energy shift. All is connected. Innovation, transformation, growth, and release. All of that has to happen. All this release, all this fear, all this overwhelm in the ego has to happen. It's going to happen. It's just coming in, letting you know if you feel alone, or you feel like things are really shifting and changing. It's happening for the highest good. And it's all because things are growing. New things are coming in. Things want to be where they're supposed to be. Energies, nature wants to be exactly what it is. Spirit wants to be exactly what it is. If you have this kind of spirit that's like, everybody's got their own energy there. I always feel it as like rivers, and like I have like rivers and stuff, and like there's different flows and different like tribes and different like energies, and people are going to be matching up and going into their flow. But it's requiring a lot of letting go, like what we've told ourselves our flow is, or who we are, or what others have told us that. We're going to really be dealing with a lot of these energies, I feel like. especially through this next phase here, this next moon phase and this next season, because we're talking about seasons here. So this could be through all, I mean, it's feels like it's, it's working. But let's read this 16, what you want wants you. I love that. Oh, do you dare to believe that what you want is also wanting you? Or have you told yourself it doesn't want you, that prosperity doesn't want you, abundance doesn't want you, love doesn't want you, that person doesn't want you, this, and we, telling ourselves stuff is really, really training our ego and protecting ourselves from, and not just even protecting anymore, it's blocking us from the truth of what wants us and what we want. That's what I'm feeling. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged, it says the genuine desires of your heart are the sacred purpose of the soul, swathed in pleasure. Yet, if you have been shamed, judged for, made to feel guilt over, or denied your natural desires or pleasures in any way, you may have developed a very tricky and complicated relationship with the yearnings of your heart. We often learn to distrust our own desires and come to believe that they are something to be overcome or avoided. We may even try to want second best. That's what I was feeling, telling yourself the BS. That I do want this. I really, really do want this, when really that's not what you want, because you want treated better, or you want love, you want intimacy, you want passion, you want freedom, you want understanding, you want compassion. Maybe you don't have that in your life, and you've told yourself, this is good, this works, this is what I want, and it's not what you want deep down. And maybe it is in your case, and I'm just, there's this strong energy of what we truly want. We're denying ourselves because we feel somehow, especially if we've been shamed, guilted, and judged, to believe that what we want, we don't deserve. It isn't ours. We aren't worthy of it. We are. We're very worthy of it. Spirit wants to make that very clear. You're very worthy of love. You're very worthy of respect. And you're very worthy of happiness. You're very worthy of abundance. You are worthy of what you want, because what you want does want you. Another message coming through is, if something in your life you've told yourself you want is showing it does not want you, it does not want you. Or it's also going through the process of telling itself, the person or the place, that it doesn't. And it needs to get through the ego too. There's a lot of shifting going on, and what's truly meant, it will be after, especially through this energy, I feel like. The oracle comes with a healing message for you. First, trust in what you truly want. Not the substitutions and make-dos, but what would truly bring a sense of passionate, playful purpose and fulfillment to your life. You might not know anything more than, I want to sing, or I want to write, or I want to help animals, or I want to paint. Start with what you know and hold it in your heart as you do the healing process below. If you genuinely don't know what your heart wants, you will very much enjoy the process of exploring your desires by making gentle and persistent inquiries of yourself. Going back to yourself and saying, what is it you want? Do you want that? Well, we know for sure, okay, I don't want that. I don't want that. And I don't want that. So those are all. So if you're in a situation or a job or something like that where it's like, okay, I absolutely know that I don't want, then you definitely know what you do want if you look at the other side of that. And you can be really honest with yourself over and over again if that's what it takes to. It may take a while to get really straight with yourself and say, yeah, that's definitely not what I want. And that's definitely not what I want. And maybe there's just different energies here that just aren't in alignment. We all think differently about things, and we all feel so differently about so many different things. There are going to be judgmental people. There are going to be shamers. There are going to be guilters. There are going to be the unforgiving. There's also going to be the forgiving. There's also going to be the accepting. There's also going to be the compassionate. There's also going to be the empathic. Then there's going to be the people that do not have that, that do not understand it. And we have to have understanding and forgiveness for those people, for not seeing the bigger picture, because that's just not the river they're in. That's not the path they're in. We don't have to let it stop us, though, from understanding what we want in our lives. Just because that might be what we have doesn't mean that's what we want. If you are dealing with a situation where there's no understanding and no compassion and no forgiveness and no and that's your thing. Or you are in a position where, or a situation in your life where you're feeling like it's like somebody's trying to twist your arm to be forgiving or compassionate or understanding, then maybe that's not the person for you either. If you don't want to do that stuff, nobody should be trying to force you to do that. And you shouldn't be uncomfortable with it. You shouldn't have to be uncomfortable in your own life. You should have the inner peace. And if you're okay with where you stand in your position, then you stand there, and you stand there with the uttermost reputation, and be reputable. Know that you are being watched. Know that you stand up for your spiritual truth is the message I'm getting. Your spiritual truth. I think there is a big energy, and everybody kind of has a part to play in this spirituality, or the yin and the yang, and the energies that make balance and make everything kind of come together. And it's very different energies, but they can work together. But I feel like it's definitely a transition getting there. And not everybody's going to see it that way. It's interesting. I'm getting a lot. I'm getting a lot there. So, and I hope that makes sense, but that's what I'm getting. I'm getting 3 of these Tarot of Lights real quick, just to get a little more from the tarot and see kind of, the 2 of Hearts, union, soulmate, relationship, balance between the yin and the yang, the masculine, feminine, the choice to choose love, choose compassion so that you can prosper and grow and flourish and take these small steps forward into a place where you are much more wise about energy, and the way, when we truly want something, if it wants us, it wants us. Okay. And that's it. And if it doesn't, then maybe that's maybe you're not aligned with, your own truth. Because if something in your life is not showing up for you, you're feeling that. I promise you're feeling that. And they aren't showing up for you. The job ain't showing up for you. The person ain't showing up for you. The compassion isn't coming from that. It doesn't mean it's not out there. It's just not coming from that place, the way we perceive it. It's our ego. And we got the Empress, the mother. This is allowing for this space for others to grow, to be themselves, even if we don't agree with it, even if we think it should look a different way, even if we think they should be another way. It's not. It's this whole message today is really about allowing others to grow the way they are meant to grow, not by what our ego says it should look like. And then see what's there at the after the growth. See what the garden looks like after you let everything grow, and you don't pull weeds before they're even half grown. So something's in the process of changing here, moving. Things are leaving so new things can grow. Let's not prejudge it. Let's not put our ego boundaries on what it is that's kind of trying to grow here. There's something really beautiful trying to grow here. And look at this card. We got the revolution, the turnaround. It's kind of like hangman energy, seeing things from a totally the other way around, and on the bottom, the 4 of Hearts. This is feeling like really allowing a new perspective to come in about this balance and this yin yang and this love, about love in general. I am feeling, but it's really just being graceful and sitting still and trying to just allow without the ego's interference, allow things to just look the way they look, grow the way they grow, go the way they go, and see what's left in the garden after the energy moves through this. That's what I'm feeling. So water energy, water element. This is your reading, and that's the message. So I always appreciate you guys coming, liking, subscribing, watching your videos most of all, and I hope you guys have a good day, and we'll talk to you later.